tuned for the Joan Quinn Profiles. As an editor for Andy Warhol's Interview, the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner, LA Style, and Detour magazines, Joan covered the social set, the Hollywood hotshots, the international art scene, the mysteries of food, the excitement of travel, and the fabulous world of fashion. Joan continues to find creative people on the cutting edge who make things happen. Here's Joan Agajanian Quinn.
Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome to the Joan Quinn Profiles. Our guests, set designer Ben Tollefson and psychic medium Tana Hoy, are waiting to be profiled. Set designer, writer, actor Ben Tollefson was born and raised in Missouri. He attended the University of Idaho and went to Marymount, Manhattan, where he met his collaborator, Laurie Miller. What did the two of you work on when you first met?
Well, when we first met, we really just kind of, we worked on different bars in New York, really. We were just kind of drinking buddies. Yes, we weren't really, we weren't on projects together. We were just good friends.
Oh, you weren't doing anything theatrical?
Well, in school, but we had one class together, I think.
Oh,
but
really?
we were just really good buddies, and we had a really good time together
and then
all over Manhattan.
How'd you get together for Homeland? I'm giving this all away before we even start.
Well, we officially met on Valentine's Day of 1995, and we became really close friends after that, and then we got together romantically, and
yes.
Now we're getting married in April, which we're very excited about, and really it all kind of came about of us working. We were both working in television at the time, and she was just finished her teacher training class at Integral Yoga Institute.
Oh, I see.
And
so Homeland
yes.
is a yoga and
Homeland is a project that teaches kids yoga through different styles of world music.
I see.
Where each character teaches their corresponding pose through a different style of world music. So the snake teaches the snake pose through salsa, and the grasshopper teaches the grasshopper through African a cappella style song.
But so did you write this? Did you help write it?
Yes. Myself and Laurie and our other partner named Michael Weiss also created it with us as well.
Well, getting together back to the TV land. Mm-hmm. You won an Emmy. We're so impressed. Daytime Emmy.
Yes, thank
you. Do you actually have it?
Well, I have a it's like a plaque kind of, but it's over above our filing cabinet in our office.
I'm so happy.
Oh, thank you.
But what was it for? What did you do to get an Emmy?
I was one of the assistant art directors on Between the Lions. It's a show on PBS that taught kids how to read, and so I built
lines.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Really?
Yes, and I worked with some amazing people on that project.
So what did you have to do actually?
I built a lot of my specialty was really special effect props that puppets touch. So if they need to touch like a pile of oranges, but they needs to hold for a second for a comic beat and then fall, I sort of make those rigs.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How'd you know how to do that?
I've just always been a little crafty. I used to, when I was very little, I used to go with my grandpa to he owned a construction company in Idaho, and I used to go with him, and I would and I loved getting up and going and building stuff.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So you have to carve things or not?
Yeah, sometimes carve things or just sculpt things, paint, do all that stuff. My first love has always been illustrating and cartooning and stuff. That's always been my first.
Can you do that?
I can.
So do you do storyboards?
I do a little bit. I primarily do storyboards just for our own stuff. I do character design for other companies, but I don't, and for us as well.
So you also taught some seminars.
Yeah.
But on what subjects and for whom?
It was creativity for children, and we worked with a group called the Red Zebras, who come from the UK.
Oh, tell us about that.
Their whole mission is community through music, and what they do is they come in to corporations with like businessmen types who haven't had a lot of creative sort of exploration, and they hand them instruments, and then they make them
to businessmen.
Yes. They get hired by big Fortune 500 type companies to go in and to start up brainstorming sessions or just team building or that kind of stuff.
Is that right? And were you a part of that?
I'm not in the corporate world. I didn't do it in the corporate world, but we worked with them at a place called Sipsy in Buffalo, and it's a creative problem-solving institute.
And what did they do? What did you do then?
I helped them facilitate with the kids, and I would do a lot of drawing and things with the kids as well, or sculpting or building.
And how do they come in? And how do they? What do they actually do? Just break down the inhibitions, or what is it for?
It is really about breaking down their inhibitions and that. And we actually use that in our show. We use their technique, and it's sort of a samba style technique where you break up into different groups. So they'll give let's say 5 business guys little clave things, and they'll be like, "This is your part."
And the business guy will do that.
Yeah,
play
they'll
the
do
clave?
it. Yep. And then they conduct it with a whistle and kind of bring everybody in and out. And we do the same thing in Homeland, where we divide the audience up and they create their own parts, though, and we create an original song every show.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So it is interactive, as you
very.
say, interactive staging.
Yes, it's very interactive. Yes.
And you did it on off Broadway.
Yes, at 45 Bleecker Theater. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you do it in the morning, I guess, so kids can come.
Yeah, yes, it is for kids. I mean, it's primarily for kids and families, and it's in the morning.
And then. Do the parents are with them? Do the parents participate?
Yes. Well, sometimes the parents get really, really into it, and yes. And when we were in New York, in trying to get the open jam, we call that little part the open jam. In getting that going, we asked for suggestions from kids. You know, what's your favorite color, or who has an idea for a clap or a stomp? And some parents would start like kind of, I have an idea, and start trying to be like, we want the kids to create the song, not you. This is for your kids.
Oh, but so you're creating the song at that point.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Are you a singer?
Well, I'm a character singer, I'd say,
Oh, is
Joan.
that? That's a good way to look at it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so if I said I liked red.
Yes.
And would you make me stamp my feet
I
till
would.
they turned red?
Yes. No. It would be like, okay, red. You like red, and then the whole time the Homeland Bug Band is in the background, sort of holding down a really simple beat.
Oh,
and then so we're like, okay, so red's your favorite color, and well, who has an idea for a clap? And then some kid will be like, or whatever, and then we'll be like, all right, let's structure that into this song, and go boom.
Oh, I see.
Red
And then
or
the band
whatever.
picks it up.
Yeah, mm-hmm. and then the band improvises with it as well.
And you actually act in it. What part do you play?
I'm the snake. Yes, I'm the snake.
Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
He's a very good guy. He's a very good guy.
Is he a happy snake?
Yes. He's always out for a good time. You betcha. Yeah, he's a very happy snake. His lesson is to take time and smell the flowers.
He teaches you that?
And the snake pose as well.
And the snake pose, which is, I can't ask you because we can't move, but what does the snake pose do?
The snake pose, you lay on your belly on the ground, and you put your palms under your shoulders, and you inhale,
you push up?
and sniff the flowers. Like,
oh, that's nice. So he's a nice snake. Do you have a costume?
Nice. Yes, I have it's a big purple head and with a big purple tail with little flowers and things on it.
Does your face show?
My face does show, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you can be real active. Active.
I try to be active and animated as much as I can.
And active. Oh, that's really great. Yeah. So what else does Homeland do? Homeland is a yoga for children interactive.
Yes.
But you've also done work in fringe festivals.
Yes.
Has Homeland gone to fringe or no?
No.
Okay.
Homeland's only been in New York and LA. That's where Homeland has been.
Okay.
Yes. No, I've done the fringe festivals just as an actor with a woman that I used to work with in New York named Carla Cantrell.
So you did fringe in Philadelphia, and what would that be? Like, what did you do there?
I was in a show called. Oh no, I don't remember the name of the show. But I was an actor and I played 13 different parts where I sort of.
So it's just a regular show.
Yeah.
I mean, just a regular play.
Regular play. I'm a regular actor in that.
American Living Room, which took place in New York, did it?
Mm-hmm.
What would that be?
It was the same thing. I just was an actor, just as an actor for this woman, and she writes all original stuff.
And you went to Scotland?
Yes, we lived in Scotland for a month and did the Edinburgh Fringe Festival there.
That's so great, isn't it?
It was really exciting. We had a great time. It was really.
So did that help you in Homeland? Or did it come before? Did it come after?
It kind of was in the middle, and it was really nice to do that because I wasn't driving the bus. Like it was nice to go onto somebody else's thing where they called the shots.
She wrote it.
Yeah, she wrote it. It was her baby, and so I was sort of just had to do what she said as opposed to, collecting 20 some odd people.
I was thinking about Omeland, and I thought that's the kind of thing that should go into the schools. Have you thought about that?
Yes, yeah, we would love to do that. We would love to do that.
Have you done that at all?
We have not. We've done festivals. We've done a lot of outdoor festivals where we don't do any of the plot, because it's actually a plot-driven musical. And we never mention yoga. We never say that this. It's just more about.
Well, what does it mean, Omeland?
Omeland is a place. It's in the heart of every flower, and that's where Omeland is, and that's where all of our characters live in the land of Om, and so the wind makes the sound of Om.
That's what I was thinking. That it's not like a meditation thing.
Yes.
Is it?
No, it's not. It's derived from that. That's what it's from, because we are, the yoga was the basis of it. And now it's pretty much creative movement based in yoga, but it's still based in that Om sense.
Well, you've ohmed us to the end. You've ohmed us to the end of our session here. But thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Ben
Joan Tollefson, for being with us. And don't go away, because we'll be right back with psychic medium Tana Hoy. Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome back to the Joan Quinn Profiles. I'm here with psychic medium Tana Hoy, who was born and raised in Ohio, where he still lives. He's a big celebrity there. Tana graduated from Fort Hayes School of Performing Arts, and you thought you were going to just go on and lead a normal life. What happened with Great Aunt Lucy that changed your life?
Oh, I had a great aunt actually that was a psychic. She was born blind. And
she was?
Yeah, and my grandfather was in the military, my father's father, and they were all kind of, they would kind of in very macho ways kind of laugh about, oh, Lucy called today and said the tire was going to fall off my car, to be careful. And so they were driving down the hill, and lo and behold, his tire came off.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, so I found out when I was 18 years old, after I graduated from high school. One day I called my father and I said, I'm not going to go to college, I'm going to decide to use my gift. And all of a sudden he remembered the story. It's kind of like when someone tells you something and you don't remember it. They never told me the story. You hear something in conversation, and years later something happens that triggers it.
They never were like talking about Aunt Lucy behind her back?
I never met her. She died before I was born.
Oh, you're
And she would have been my great aunt.
Oh, wow.
So I said, what? And he said, well, before me and your mother, when the first week I met your mother, I took her down to this family gathering, and she met your Aunt Lucy. And Lucy had told me that I was going to marry your mother. She told me that we were going to have 3 boys. The youngest would be very psychic and would pursue this as his life work right after he was finished with his schooling.
And you told your father that?
Yeah,
and
he told me that.
But when
I told him I was going to go into this.
Yeah.
And we had 3 boys. My mother thought for sure I'd be a girl. She wanted a boy. She had a boy. I was the youngest, and that was what happened. And I thought, wow. My father's a little conservative, he's a very conservative kind of businessman. So to hear that from him and to see his reaction when he told me was very interesting.
But he must have been shocked himself.
Yeah, he was.
That this was all coming back.
Because he never thought of it before.
And then did he think of his tire and all those other things?
Well, that was my grandpa's tire that fell, his father. But yeah, it was just, it led for an interesting conversation.
But you live in Columbus, Ohio. You do a lot of radio and a lot of TV. In what way do you participate in those kind of shows?
I do a lot of radio shows around the country.
All emanating from Columbus?
I
see.
Yeah, I have an office there. Most of my clients are by phone. I don't see many people in person. I was born and raised there, and I'm getting ready to move, I think, out to the LA area.
But it's pretty interesting that you become so well known and that your work, people are calling you in Columbus. I don't know why I should be shocked about it, but when somebody has an expertise, I guess they find you wherever you are.
Right. Well, because of I've been written up in Entertainment Weekly, a lot of magazines and newspapers and stuff. So people, when they hear about me and they hear what I do, I've been doing this now for 10 years, full time.
So they just find you in Columbus?
Or through, they find me.
They find you.
My website.
I see. What do you do on TV and on radio. When you're on the radio, what do you do?
When I'm on radio shows, what happens is people will call in to have questions answered about their life or about their future.
I see.
When I'm on TV shows, sometimes guests will be on to be reunited with somebody who died, and sometimes guests will be on to find out what happened about their future.
So were those local? Are those local TV and
No, that
radio
was
shows?
Jenny Jones' show. I've been on there 5 times, and different shows like this.
And
talk
and
shows.
you're a medium.
Uh-huh.
What's that? I mean, we talk about psychics, and psychics, you phone them up and they tell you things over the phone, but they always make fun of psychics and they
Right.
say you're being taken when you call. But you're a different kind of
Medium.
entity.
Well, I used to be an extra large, but now I'm
you're
a
a little
medium.
Now you're a medium. But what do you do? What's the difference between those two?
Well, when people think of mediums, they think of John Edwards, James Van Praagh, people that just talk to the dead. And actually, that's not true. That was their specialty. A medium means to be a medium between the earth plane and the spirit world. So it means that unlike a psychic, psychics will look at your tarot cards and give you a reading based on the vibrations or impressions they see.
Do you do that?
No, I'm not a psychic.
You don't do that at all.
I'm a psychic medium. Or they might look at the lines in your palm and read your palms. Psychics work with vibrations, impressions, and feelings, which allows for a lot of misinterpretation. Excuse me.
Can you
because
do
you
that?
can read you can read it wrong like a map. I'm a medium. I can physically see spirit guides and angels behind people. They talk to me and I just repeat the conversation back. So my clients come to me to find out about their future, but where I'm getting information from is a very different source.
Oh, so if a psychic does something, they look at the cards.
Right,
or
and
look at
they
your,
interpret
feel
what they
your
see or
hand
feel.
whatever they feel.
Yes, I'm
But
just
that's
repeating a conversation that I'm hearing.
So that's a different kind of gift.
Yeah, the only thing I have in common really with psychics is that we talk about futures. But it's kind of like comparing a brain surgeon to a general practice doctor. They both practice medicine, but the brain surgeon's at a very different kind of level than the general practice doctor. It's kind of, the psychics are kind of like the general practice, and the mediums are more like the brain surgeons. With a psychic, you have to ask questions. With me, I tell my clients, if I really talk to your guides, stick your questions in your pocket because I should know why you're there. You shouldn't have to ask me anything.
Is that right?
Yeah, so my clients don't normally ask questions.
Well, that is one of the things I wanted to know. And then what kind of clients do you have?
I have a lot of celebrity clients. I have a lot of white collar, a lot of business people come to me for consultations. A lot of celebrities come to me for readings. I have just a variety of kinds of people.
What do they want to know? What would a business person come to you? What do they ask you?
Well, I do a thing called life mapping, which really started from working with the celebrity crowd. You know, in Hollywood, jobs turn over and change very quickly, and there's a lot of insecurity in that industry and uncertainty. So I'd come up with something that I do called life mapping, and it's different than a psychic reading.
I love the word.
Thank you.
I love the life mapping.
Thank
Sounds
you.
so great.
Well, when you come for a psychic consultation, you're coming about all areas of your life. With life mapping, I take a very specific area. Say, for example, I had a studio executive come to me who had a movie project that he wanted to move forward.
Oh, I see.
And he wanted to know how to get it on the air, but he had somebody on a board that was really kind of standing in the way.
Did you know that, or did he tell you
Well,
this?
he talked to me. So in a life mapping session, what we did is we talked
see.
about, we map out the next 3 months. I talked about what he needed to do to get over these obstacles, what he needed to do how to deal with this person to make him more agreeable with him, what kind of people we needed to watch out for, and what steps needed to be taken to get the project going. 3 months later, the show got picked up, and it actually got on the air.
So is it
life
like
mapping,
a seminar? It's different from being a
life,
medium then.
Oh no, life mapping is just another type of reading that I do.
Oh,
it's
I
another
see.
type of session.
Okay, let's talk about that because you do readings.
Yes.
And what is the reading procedure?
Okay, when a person comes for a psychic reading, people want to know about their love lives, they want to know about their career, sometimes about their health. I'm not a medical doctor or medical intuitive, so I don't always deal real deep into health. They want to know about financing, investing, With life mapping, they come with a very specific question to map out over 3 months.
Two different.
Yeah, two different. So a psychic consultation is all areas of your life. Life mapping is where you have maybe you have a relationship, you want to find a soulmate. What steps do I need to take over the next 3 months to align myself to meet my soulmate? So it would look with a specific problem.
Well, how do you recognize a soulmate? Because that's part of one of the things you talk about,
Right.
is soulmates.
I have a book coming out called
Do you?
Yeah, If Only You, Why Did You Stop Dancing When You Were the One That I Loved is the name of the book.
Oh, wow.
And I compare love to a beautiful dance. When we're in love, it's like the most beautiful dance in the world. And many people have had the experience that they've met somebody they thought was a soulmate, and suddenly the person walked away and quit dancing. So they're standing there dancing by themselves and wondering what happened. So it's a book about soulmates. How do we know our soulmate?
Exactly.
When we meet a
How
soulmate?
do we know it? How do
Well,
we
there's
know
many
it?
there's many signs with the soulmate. One of the things that soulmates is usually you meet a soulmate under very unexpected circumstances. People will talk about feeling like they've known each other for a long time when they
Right.
meet. Love at first sight. Being able to finish the person's sentences.
Those are like
is very
soulmate
common
things?
signs, yeah.
I
But they can
see.
also be things we
Soulmate
experience
things.
with somebody that we've been in a past life with, that we've only come together in this life
So
to
you-
resolve our differences.
So you have those in your background.
You have people
and then
in the
they
past.
come, yeah.
So we may meet people again. If we meet someone we've been with another life, we'll have those same feelings. So what I talk about in the book is techniques to identify what's the difference between a soulmate or somebody we've just come together with in this life.
You also teach workshops.
Yes.
And you teach people, do you teach them to be psychics?
Well, I teach many things. I teach a workshop on finding your soulmate. I teach workshops on how to meditate, creating prosperity, developing your psychic
do?
abilities, how
Are
to
they-
see the aura.
Are they one-on-one?
No, they're groups.
Oh, they are
I
groups.
teach how to communicate with your master guides, your guardian angels, how to channel. I teach a wide variety of subjects.
Where do you teach those things?
Well, I teach them all over. I teach a lot of them in Columbus. Many times people will fly in for my workshops.
And how long are, say, a workshop?
A workshop will last 2 hours.
Oh, so you can come in for 1 day or 2 days?
You
and
can come
take
in for a
couple-
day or 2 days, and I'm getting ready to move into weekend seminars.
Oh. That's really interesting.
Thank you.
So we talk about, you talked about a workshop teaching people to be psychic. What's like maybe 1 or 2 things to look for that to see if you have any psychic ability?
Okay, everyone's got psychic ability.
Do
It's
they?
our God-given, when there were cavemen had to rely on intuition for survival. But today, we don't have to rely on it in the same way, so we've kind of just forgotten it. So what I'm really doing is teaching people how to re-tap into what they already have. There's many techniques. Women tend to be more sensitive, psychic than men, but the men that are psychic tend to be the most psychic of all, which is very interesting.
I see, because they have that different kind of strength.
Yeah,
I guess.
they have a very different energy that they work with. Things I talk about with people about developing their psychic abilities, we do a lot. First thing I tell people is learn to start trusting what you feel. Logic and psychic feelings are never hand in hand. So it's not a logical exercise, it's a feeling exercise. Trusting your feelings. That's one of the first things I teach people. Trusting your gut,
So
because your
it's
gut's
like
never wrong.
the first thing that comes to your mind, or the
if you
first
feel
way you feel
Yeah, or
something.
you ever had a feeling that everything on the outside looked great, but there was that nagging feeling in your
Yeah.
stomach that said something's wrong?
Yeah, it's just a skew,
And then later you found out, ooh, I'm glad I didn't do that or get involved because it all blew up. It's like that feeling inside, paying attention to that. That's the number one thing I tell people.
So you can train yourself to look for those kind of things.
And to trust it.
Oh, and then you have to go overboard and do it. Is there a spirituality about it? I mean, you talk about the angels. Is there like God involved?
Well, religion is or spirituality, I should say, is a very personal choice. I have clients that are Jewish, agnostic, atheist, Muslim, Baptist. I have a Monsignor of the Catholic Church come to me.
But they listen to your angels who are coming through you?
Absolutely.
Oh, they
I
do?
tell people that religion is a personal choice. I can't really tell somebody what God is or isn't, or the
Yeah.
universe for them. That's something they have to be comfortable with before they come to see me.
Oh, I see. You do a lot of work over the phone
Yes.
too, don't you?
Yes.
You don't have to see the person. You don't have
No,
to like
because
me. You wouldn't have to see me.
No, I'm working with energy. Energy isn't separated by distance or time or space.
But how do you feel it over the phone?
Well, I can feel energy. I can feel their energy over the phone.
Like
I
just
say,
like
it isn't-
sitting with me right now?
Absolutely. It doesn't change the effectiveness. As a matter of fact, I prefer phone readings because I'm not distracted by the energy of the client being in front of me.
Because I'm like, if you were going to read me, I'm really difficult. I want to be really private. I wouldn't want you to know anything that's going on inside of me.
You probably wouldn't come for a reading.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. People that, because if you're not, if you weren't open for that, you probably wouldn't seek out a psychic
Oh,
meeting.
that's very interesting.
But there's also people, what I do is 100% confidential. My clients know that what we talk about is never repeated. So if you knew that and there was a problem or something, and you had a crisis in your life or something, you needed help and you had heard good things about me, you may come and give it a try just to see what could happen. You see what I mean?
I see, yeah, because that is
Because you
very
know that
specific, isn't it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect me to come to
No.
you if I didn't want.
No, and you know, though, when you came to me, though, even being a private person,
Right.
nobody else would ever know what we talked about anyway. So it could be
Exactly.
a safe environment.
Oh, that's really interesting. Tell me what else you do.
Well,
Does this keep you busy all day long?
keeps me busy. I see about 10 people a day, and I work
Oh, you do?
5 days a week, yeah.
Oh, you do.
So it keeps me pretty busy. And then the workshops and then the writing of the book in between. So I can't say life is ever slow.
But how do you take time to come out to LA?
Well, I
Are you
reschedule
working?
clients. No, I reschedule and come out here.
Oh, that's great. Well, we're
Yeah.
so happy that you came on today. It
I'm
was
honored
really,
to be on the show with you.
really interesting. I was going to say, read me, read me.
Well, it's interesting you say you're skeptical because you're also very psychic. That was interesting to me.
I
there
feel
may be
psychic.
There may be a part of you that's even kind of afraid of not even knowing how to deal with everything you feel because you have a very in-tuned sense about people. You'll understand that.
Yeah, I know
and
that.
that is a type of psychic ability.
That's why coming to a workshop, maybe it would be developed.
It would teach you how to pay attention. It would teach you, oh yeah, that's already been happening. I didn't know that was psychic.
Yeah, see?
See what I mean?
Right. Well, it's been fabulous. I
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed talking to you.
You too.
And I loved having you watch the show today. Please keep watching and keep writing to 777 South Figueroa, Los Angeles 90017, and we're on the 44th floor. See you next time on the Joan Quinn Profiles.